We've seen Counterfeit Beth, Gun Beth, and Drug Beth, but tonight we're talking about Boss Beth right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I had to do this motion, and I don't know why, but it is Boss Beth night tonight, everybody. Thank you guys, everyone that's in the chat right now. Thanks for hanging out. We are ready to kick things off. We're going to be talking about Boss Beth, Agent Turner, Daddy Dean, as I like to call him, and we've got news and shout outs for you guys. So we have a full show. Juliet, how are you doing today?
I'm good. What an episode. It was the best. I'm so happy. I can't wait to talk about it. I have many, many, many thoughts.
Yes, this episode it just really built up. Like, there's so much coming for us in the next episode or two. Like, things are going to be taking a turn. Like, they really set it up in this episode. So there's going to be a lot of predictions. There is a lot to talk about. So let's jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, first I want to talk about how big of a boss Beth is this season, obviously this season, but this episode. She has really turned into being the boss of the own company, not only Rio's company, but Dean's car company. So we got to see her like in charge, making the rules and negotiating things during the episode. Do we think that this love between Brio, we really saw Rio have another lady? Mm-hmm. And do you think that might be the reason for some of her actions in this episode?
Maybe. I think that's a plausible thing because she's been, not that this qualifies it as cheating by any means, like at all. Like Rio doesn't really need to explain himself to her at all. But I think this feeling of having a man in power, having a man have several women in her life, I think it struck a chord with her, and she was like, no, not again. Not this Beth. Not today.
And she can control this one, too, a little bit. Or I think that's how she feels, because with Dean, like, she's married to her husband, she has kids, and then she had this affair, and now if he's trying to pull, like, the power cord or, like, have her as, like, the side chick, then she can kind of step away and be like, nope, I'm not going to do it. And I think she's becoming tougher after seeing that.
She really is, and she's taking ownership. And I think that, think of how this show really started off. It was just, we're doing this one crime, and that's it. Okay, now to cover up this crime, we're going to do this last crime, and then that's it. And this episode was the first time where she was like, no, I'm leaning in. I kind of feel that she's fully owned this like mafia boss lady that she is.
Yes, she really did. And we saw that at the end of the episode, which we will talk further in depth as the show goes on. But at the end of the episode, she is negotiating with Rio, and she's taken the lessons that she's learned, and we see a lot of parallels between what Rio has done to her and what Dean has done to her too. So with Rio, we've seen at the end where she was negotiating and she got the business up to 50-50% of sharing the profits, where he left and she was like, I would have taken 40. Like, we saw that happen with Rio and Beth before, but Rio did that. And then we also saw a parallel with Dean on the very beginning of the episode when she's on the commercial and she turns the TV on and is like, this is my commercial, everybody look. Dean had that a few episodes ago or last season or something. So she's really there's a callback on a lot of these actions that she's doing, which is kind of cool to see that when the guy's doing it, and then now we're seeing it as Beth is doing it.
Yeah, I love that.
It's pretty awesome and really powerful. So we saw that. We also saw her being a boss when she learned about the pills in the airbags. I know Dean had said something about it, but she's the one who went to the dealership, and she found the pills. And it was raining pills.
It really was raining pills. That was a crazy scene. I love how they did that with that whole explosion. Very, very cool. And now I know that you can hide stuff in airbags. I had no clue.
I know, that's kind of scary. If you would have gotten in a wreck, then that would not have been good. But obviously there's a lot worse things that are happening in this show than that. But yeah, we saw that promoed at the very beginning of the season, I think. And so it was time for us to see the pills, like where those were coming in, because I completely forgot that they had promoted that. I think it might have been like episode 1 even. But now we know that they're into the pill game. And I thought it was pretty fun that these aren't just, you know, like meth or heroin or I don't know what you hide in pills. I'm no pro, but they're just regular pills for lowering blood cholesterol, all that stuff. So they're just, who knew there was a black market for that?
Yep. I still feel like there's something fishy there. I thought it was very interesting that there are those types of pills. So I'm just kind of, I feel like we're going to get more explanation about that down the line.
Okay, maybe so. And but maybe that's all that there is. I think that this is with the group in Canada, right? Because he said that they were coming down from the north. So I'm guessing we're seeing some of that. We saw that in the promos where they'll be working with, you know, this other group.
Right.
So
yeah, maybe. I mean, you're right. There is a market for that. Compared, you know, Canada's health policies, health insurance are extremely good in comparison to America, and those pills in America are way more expensive. So yeah, I guess that I had no idea at all. But yeah, this show enlightened me that they're selling pills.
Yeah.
Legal pills. Well, I mean, it's not legal, but you know, I mean, they're not like oxy or hard drugs as they were scared of.
Very interesting. Maybe it's going to get a little political. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're making is a little statement. So now that Beth is running the business, Dean is left at home being Daddy Dean. What do you think about his new role as, I know we've kind of talked about this in the predictions before. I'm kind of excited to see him, you know, in that role as, you know, a stay-at-home dad. What are your thoughts about it?
I mean, I'm excited because we saw a lot of growth, and I mean, I wasn't surprised when the house was a mess and all this. I had predicted it last week.
Yes, you did.
But there was some growth towards the end of the episode. He kind of is starting to get the groove of it, and I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty happy with him that he didn't have. I thought we would have him this moment of him crying and extreme complaining. There was still the complaining, but at least he's getting better little by little.
Yeah. I love the scene where she is angry cleaning. Like, she comes home and she is just like scrubbing the dishes and she is mad, but she's cleaning. And I feel like I have been that person before. Like, I have an inner angry cleaner sometimes. I don't know if you've ever done that, but like, you come home and you've worked all day, and like in this industry, you come home after working like 12, 14 hours or whatever, and then you've got like dishes in the sink, and you're just like, I gotta get the lasagna off or whatever, and like throw it in the dishwasher. It's like, I've been there, Beth. I can feel it through the TV screen. I don't know. Maybe your house is clean.
No. I mean, I completely get it. And as she was saying, like, no one wants to come to a house like this. And it's true that they have a partnership, and her whole thing is that she's working, and now he has to work as well at home, and he's not doing that. So that's why she was upset, but rightfully so.
That's true. Yeah, and she has been throughout this series. I feel like she definitely deserved it. And when he said, oh, it's hard, you know, this is hard, and she's like, yeah, it is hard. It's like, yeah, come on. Okay, so I just want to do a couple quick shout outs because we got a lot of people in the chat tonight. So hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. I just want to shout out, we've got some people talking about Dean, and everybody's like not on Dean's side, which I completely understand. Danielle's out there, and she said, ugh, Dean is so annoying. I think we are supposed to feel bad for him, but nah, you're getting what you deserve. And isn't that the truth? I think that kind of encapsulates what we're all thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there aren't that many Team Dean out there. I don't really see that much on the comments, but prove me wrong, guys. But
there's really not. Sometimes I get like a little sympathetic towards him, but I know.
But for a quick second, it's for a quick second of empathy, and then it's like gone as soon as he like takes a breath or something.
Yeah, but then you remind me about the cancer thing, and then it's all back to how everyone else is feeling.
Twice he put his family and 4 children in bankruptcy. not once but twice.
Yeah, that's yeah. Thank you.
And actually, no, that's twice this season in the last less than, I don't know, it's been less than a year. I don't even know. They don't really explain the timeline that much,
Right.
but in 2 seasons he's did that twice, and they've gone back and said that this has been, he's been blaming the economy and all types of things.
I know he
Anyways.
plays blame.
I could go on and on about how I don't like this character.
Well,
so I'll let
Juliet, you just keep me grounded. That's what it is. Every time I'm like almost sliding over, you're like, this is the reasons, and I like that. Okay, so the next big thing that we saw in this episode, a huge turning point that we're going to see, is Agent Turner's surprise visit. I think I was just like sweating bullets during that. I was just like, oh my gosh, what is going to happen? And it just went really well throughout dinner. And then, I knew it. As soon as Ruby just got alone, I was like, don't be alone. Do not just sit there by yourself. You're asking for Agent Turner to come talk to you. And sure enough, Agent Turner came, and he pretty much, told Ruby what the deal is, scared her a little bit, and yeah, she was feeling very scared about that. So what are your thoughts about this scene? This is a huge scene for the turning point of the show.
It really is, and it broke my heart because she is beyond between a rock and a hard place. She's really in it, and I understand, like, she wants to protect her children. She wants to protect her husband of 22 years. There's just so much at stake here that I kind of understand just all her fears and, like, all the emotions she's going through.
Yeah. Agent Turner got to her for sure. And Agent Turner has been scaring Beth for a while. And Beth is just kind of like a rock. Like, even if she's about to crumble, she's still not giving into it. And Ruby, I feel like, just has so much on the line. And that's the difference, because she does have a family, like, very happy. And Stan is in the police, what's it called? Police force?
Yeah.
Yes. So he has a lot to lose. So she just has more on the line, I feel like, than Beth and her crumbling love relationship household. But I don't know what's going to happen, because Beth went and talked to Agent Turner, and she is confessing that she's pretty much like, what do you want me to do to keep my family safe?
Right. And it looks like it looks like she's gonna have. I mean, as he said, he was like, I just want her. For a second, I thought he was gonna say that he wanted Rio, and he wanted the gang. But no, that moment really solidified the fact that Beth is becoming. She's like the lead gang member or something. She really is at the head of it, because the fact that he's not even mentioning Rio, and you would think that's who they've been looking for a while. He understands who's the one steering this ship.
Yeah, and she is just getting more and more involved in all that. So, she's
getting
the boss.
More powerful.
Power. So, yeah, and I mean, what do you do? And that's a really good point, is that he's not even looking for Rio anymore. So, I mean, if the girls can just push him aside or divert him a little bit, then maybe he'll be off their case. I don't see that actually happening, but, it could be a plan. But yeah, we'll talk about that, I think, a lot more in predictions, but I just broke my heart to see her talking to Agent Turner. And she came close to talking to him during the DNA episode. She was almost to the office, or she pulled up to the office and she didn't say anything. And now she's talking. Oh, it makes me so nervous, but this is why I love this show. Jessica, you're saying that you don't think Ruby will out them. Honestly, she's going to skirt around it and find a way to keep him off their backs. Something tells me she's got Beth's back on this. And I just have to be on your side there, because, this is the good girls. Like, they are a unit, so they have to stick together. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Storm Within says Ruby should have called Beth as soon as Agent Turner left to tell her that Agent Turner knows that Stan took the pin cap. I agree with that too. I think that when it's kind of interesting that she's not how long is she going to go without telling the girls about this encounter with Agent Turner? I'm not sure. So she it would have been great if she would have called the girls like right after, so you would know that they were still on the same team, but she didn't do that. So
I think they're going to play with that a little bit more in the next episode. I was also surprised, but it kind of made sense that she didn't tell her husband about it. Do you think it's because she thinks that he can't handle the pressure?
I don't know. Because in the last episode or two, she has come out being like, I'm going to be honest, completely honest with you and tell you everything. So maybe it's just she's so scared right now. I think she's in this state of shock too. And I think she just wanted to keep him safe. She's doing this to protect Stan. So she's going behind his back to be like, put me in handcuffs, here I go. And then, surprise, Stan, I'm not coming home. But, I mean, she's got plenty of backup lasagnas in the fridge. So, I mean, they'll be fine for at least a year. I mean, that scene when she was like, here, Agent Turner, and she just pulls out a lasagna out of the fridge. It's like she's got those on. She's got those. She should be selling those, you know. That's what their new business should be, is Ruby's lasagnas. Anyways, my thoughts. I would like to taste one of her lasagnas. I'm a good pasta person, so I bet it tastes real nice. You know, Reddit, if you want to send me the pasta lasagna, your girl. Okay, so let's move on to the very end where Dean, well, this whole scene with Beth and Dean, the episode is called Take Off Your Pants, and we saw that at the end with Beth. She told Dean to take off his pants, and it got real. I know you have thoughts on this.
It got real weird.
Yes.
That's the only way to, like, what do you think it got?
It got weird. That's what I was going to say. It was awkward and aggressive and just, it was, like, very stiff.
It was so weird that they didn't even technically show it. As soon as it was, like, about to start, they, like, cut to something else.
And people on Twitter and stuff were saying, you know, did they actually go through with it? I'm not sure. And it was funny. Reno Wilson was like, I'm pretty sure he would have gone through with it, like, from a guy's perspective. So I thought that was funny.
I don't know, because he had that moment. He looked up and he was just feeling, it kind of hit him. He was feeling, yes, he's been wanting to do this for so long. Like, we know that they haven't been intimate. But I think he wants to be in charge, and the way that she was taking charge, I think, just really blew his mind, and in not a good way. And he was very like, oh, what? I think he was confused.
Right, because he wants her to be that, like, little damsel in distress and very submissive.
And she probably has never done anything like this before. So his mind, I'm sure, automatically wandered to, wait, she's never done this with me before. Who's taught her this? And ding, ding, ding.
Right. And even whenever he was in the blue about it at the very beginning, but he started, like, kissing her and everything. She was like, no, don't do that. And just very aggressive. Like, let's just do it. Do it now. And then I think you're right. That's where he was like, what? So it was super awkward. I didn't like it. It was not great.
No,
but
I didn't like it either. I just, like, and she's so under his spell. I know she's, like, the boss or whatever. She really is, because he does one good thing. He puts one good thing together, and she's ready to have sex with him. Like, he cleaned the house. Really? Like, after everything that's happened, like, he's getting a better grasp of the children. Like, I'm really proud of him. I'm not going to knock him for that. I think this is a really hard thing to be doing, but it doesn't deserve a take your pants off and screw me on the kitchen counter. Like,
after the day before, it was just turmoil of the whole house, you know? But I don't know.
But I do like the way that she's taking charge. I like that she's like, you know what? I'm going to have sex when I want to have sex, how I want to have sex.
She's probably also feeling kind of angry and upset because of seeing Rio. And that's probably why she was like, you know, let's have sex or whatever, because she knows that Rio is having another girl, which, this is a fun fact. I don't know if you know this or not, but the girl that plays Rio's other little lady side piece, that's his wife in real life.
Oh,
isn't that cute?
That is cute. I didn't know that.
I know. I saw that today, so I was like, okay, I like her, like, slightly more better, but that's not a whole lot on the show. In real life, I'm sure she's a lovely person. So there you have it. But that scene led up to our ending where Dean goes and takes their, I don't know which kid it is, Kenny maybe, to Krav Maga. Yeah. And then he talks to the instructor about if he's actually ever killed anyone. And then that like lingers on awkwardly. And it alludes to yes, he has, because he didn't say no. So I'm guessing that's a yes, right?
Right.
Am I following the show correctly?
Yeah,
Okay.
I am. I don't know how this is going to turn out. This is going to be messy. I don't see him as someone who's able to hire a hitman and it going out without a glitch. I don't see that in his skill set. Like I know, again, we clean the house. We're going places, but we're not going there just yet.
I think that it's going to be a failed attempt. I think it's going to be one of Dean's schemes that fails miserably and gets everybody in trouble.
Oh, deeply in trouble.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited to see what that looks like. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and read. Yeah.
Do you think that he's onto her and he thinks that she's had sex with him? And that's why he was so determined to be like, okay, I'm gonna find a hitman for them.
I think so. I think the sex scene.
And then cutting to that, yeah.
Mm-hmm, I think that means that he knows that they've had sex. Well, and she also said, what is it, when they had that little exchange, I think in the kitchen, after Rio shows up with a gun, Dean's like, what is it about him? And she's like, well, what is it about Amber? And so I feel like that's kind of a communication thing where it's like, yeah, we've been together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
I think so.
I agree.
But I mean, on the other hand, Dean's not very smart, but I think he did pick it up. So there you go. Okay, let's see. Everybody's chatting in the comments. It's hard to keep up, but we're talking about Mary Pat in the comment. I would love to see that because Mary Pat is the worst. What if her is Mary Pat because her kid outed her after she lied on the Good Girls? Aha! Lampkin in the comments is talking about when Agent Turner, when he says her, alluding to Beth, what if he means Mary Pat and not Beth?
Ooh.
Ooh. I would like that because I would like Mary Pat to be gone. Which we didn't see her this episode, and I'm wondering if she has any more story really left to give. So that'd be a nice little ending for her character.
Yeah, I like that.
I like it. Okay, so other thoughts about the show before we move on into our other segments? Final thoughts?
What were your thoughts about Sadie? How Sadie's been acting?
Oh, yes. Sadie, I give Sadie the benefit of the doubt because she's a kid, and I feel like, she is acting like a kid, and she's mad at her mom, and they have like that cool mom relationship where they're like friends and BFFs, and so she can be mad at her. But I loved how Annie, like, the light bulb clicked on, and then she was like, listen, I am your mom, and this is how it's going to go down.
Yeah, I loved seeing her take charge. She matured.
She did. There was a lot of growth, which I am going to talk about in a minute. But should we move on to our other segments?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, this is going to go right into our Baddest Good Girl.
Special segment.
If you guys have your favorite Baddest Good Girl of this episode, then put it in the comments or put it in the live chat, and we'll shout you out. For now, Juliet, do you want to go ahead and go?
Okay, so this week mine's not Beth.
Oh, okay.
Which I know it is every week, but
it really is like every week, and that's okay because like she is well deserved.
She's well deserved, but not this week. I think I know that she was using sex as a way to use power, but still, I don't like that she let her husband's grimy penis in her. It grosses me out. So I think Annie is, because I just loved how she just really took ownership of the fact that she's a parent, that she talked back to her daughter and was like, get in the car, you know?
Yes. Okay. And I wrote this down so I know you know that I'm not lying. But Annie is also my baddest good girl for that exact same reason. When she had that scene, I was just like, yes, Annie. She's laying down the law. Like you said, she's growing, she's maturing, and I'm really proud of her.
Me too.
I've given it to Annie a few times, though. I like her. Storm Within says they are so proud of Annie for taking control as a parent. And Aaron says Sadie needs to respect her mama. And yeah, she does. But she's a kid. She's a kid. And she's usually the adult in most situations. Like, she has to adult her mom. So I feel like we forget that she's still, like, in school. Probably, like, middle school, right? I think.
She can't be, like, older than 14.
Yeah. She's amazing. She's an amazing actress, too. Jessica says that was a strong scene for Annie, and I loved that. So lots of love for Annie for this. So I'm glad. Okay, we have a little bit of news.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, our news is, if you remember, Lydia Jewett was on our show a few episodes ago. She is now on Grey's Anatomy. So if you watch Grey's Anatomy, she is playing Nora, episode 18, if you want to see her on Grey's Anatomy. So.
Season 15, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy? And I know at AfterBuzz here we cover that show, so you really want to go ahead and check out the after show because they do an amazing job. And you know, while you're at it, leave comments, subscribe, do all that cool stuff.
Show them some love.
Yeah.
I started watching that many years ago, and I just lost touch. And other news, I just want to talk about this is. We talked about Christina Hendricks in Toy Story 4 our last show, and I just think that's really cool that she's going to be a voice in Toy Story 4. So I just wanted to mention that one more time.
Yes, I love it.
I know. I'm excited to see when that comes out.
Our
too.
good girls are up to some big things.
Oh my gosh, that's the best slide ever. We need to tag that. I love that. That was smart. Okay, and then next, let's get into some shout outs.
Yeah, I love it. Keep them coming, guys. We love some more shout outs.
Yes. Be sure to comment, and we will shout you out on the next show. For now, I'm going to read a couple. How about I'll read some from our live chat?
Yeah, let's do it.
And then you want to read some shout outs from last week, some people who have
guys,
commented?
if we don't get to you, we're really, really sorry, but we love you nonetheless.
Yes. So right now, we have Aaron, who's saying the baddest good girl is Annie for taking control and getting her drug friend to help out. That's true. She also had her drug friend come out and look at the pills. So she did a lot of stuff this episode, and that's really great. So, Juliet, do you want to read some of our comments from last week?
So from last week, you guys were awesome in the chat. We have Moshi Fox Furball, who says, my favorite bit about Good Girls is that Rio plus Beth have a chance of being together.
Ooh.
Ooh. I don't know if I fully agree that. I don't see them as like a couple. I mean, you never know. If this show has the potential of going on for seasons long, so maybe we'll see that later on, but I don't see it in the near future.
I know. I almost think that the honeymoon might be over for Brio, like very short-lived, because even he said, you know, I think it's run its course. And once she's seen him with another guy, I feel like she's not going to want to go back to that.
Yeah, I think if she's a girl, but it's definitely if she's seen him with another guy, I think she wouldn't want that either.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Beth Parker, thank you for leaving a comment. You said that Beth takes Rio down.
Yes.
I mean, she's taking over the power.
She is. She's taking everybody down, you know?
And last but not least, Sweeney Todd 98. Words cannot express how much I hate this man. Dean, I'm with you. I mean, hate is a strong word, but I really, really don't like you. He is so lucky to have the woman that he's so lucky to have this woman in his life. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tongue twisted tonight.
No, you're fine.
He is so lucky. The woman need the car dealership was to wash the money. Maybe you made some typos and that's why I'm confused. And anyways, nonetheless, we're really happy for your comment. Thank you so much.
Yes, it could be my handwriting too.
No, it's all good.
Needs the car. Yeah, because I think they're saying they're really glad that Dean needed the girls to have the car wash.
To help with the dealership so that they could wash the money.
Otherwise, he would be out.
Yeah, he would
right?
really, he really would.
Yeah.
He'd be out on his ass, as you said.
Yes, land on the law. So, woo, keep the comments coming. Keep liking, keep sharing. We really appreciate it. And that's we're on iTunes, we're on YouTube, and we're on Spotify. So you can find us there. Before we go, let's talk about promos for next week, and let's also talk about predictions.
Yay!
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions.
We're doing pretty good with these. I feel like this season.
And you got some from last week too, so that was good.
Yeah.
Just to set up the scene here, our promo for next week is that Ruby works with Agent Turner. We see her in the car taking photos, and the girls turn around and say, "What's that? What are you doing?" Then one of Beth's kids go missing, so that's going to be a huge new plot because she's missing a child. So that is our setup. That's what we were given for next week. Do you want to start us off with predictions?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Predictions are really hard for this show because they just throw a whole
really
new
do.
thing, a whole new element in every single time. So it's really fun. Keeps us on our toes.
I'm hoping that Ruby's actually going to surprise us, and we're going to think that she's ratting out the girls, but she's finding some type of way to cover all grounds. I really hope that's what we're going with, because they always kind
Same.
of do those twists and turns. So I'm really hoping to see that, and that's what's gonna happen. And then I think that Dean's gonna fail miserably with this whole hitman situation. He's not killing Rio just yet.
No, he's not. And I think that I'm with you on both of those things. I also think that he's going to fail miserably and that we're going to see some comedy from that, which I'm looking forward to. And do you think that Ruby might wear a wire or something? Because that is something that I could see Agent Turner wanting her to do, but I feel like that would get them into some trouble. From kind of the beginning, I've been saying that we might see the girls in court somewhere or in a hearing or some sort of like the girls against the law. I feel like that might be coming close, so I'm going to stick with that.
Yep.
Also, I would like to see Boomer's grandma some more.
Yeah, me too. I'm really happy we had those little cameos. I hope that's going to come back more. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, here's a far-fetched prediction for me. I'm going to say that Boomer's grandma is going to come back and maybe help the girls with crime fighting and maybe even help them sell some pills to all her friends.
With heart problems?
What?
I like that.
What? Yeah, so leave your comments and your predictions down.
That's a good one. I see that happening. I see her involved somehow with that for sure. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'd like that. I'd like to see her some more for sure. So we see Danielle says, I don't think Rio's guys had anything to do with the kidnapping. I think Beth might have pissed off the Canadians or something.
Ooh, interesting.
That would be good. And then, yeah, so that's all I see. If Rio doesn't bring Jane home to Beth safely, my heart can't take it, says Jessica. That would be a way to get Brio back together if Rio helps Beth find Jane. That could be good. So, there's so much to predict, you guys. Let us know what you're thinking, where you think the show is going to go. It could go a million different directions. So we will see next week. Okay?
Yay.
So until then,
You guys
where
can follow
can
me on Instagram if you would like to do so at Bonjour Juliet.
all right. And you can follow me at Kelsey Hightower. And we will see all of you guys back here, same time, same place next week. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.